The gasp rips out of me, a raw, ragged sound, and my lungs burn. Phantom water, cold and suffocating, still clings to my throat. I'm flailing, or I think I am. But my hands hit something soft. Fabric. Not the slick, chilling concrete of the pier, not the greedy suck of the ocean. My eyes snap open. Spider-Man. Red and blue, faded, slightly pilly. My old comforter. I stare at it, my heart hammering a frantic rhythm against ribs that ache with a memory of impact. My hands. I lift them, and they're smaller, thinner than they should be. 14-year-old hands. Trembling. Against Spider-Man sheets I'd forgotten I once owned. This is my bedroom. My childhood bedroom. Sunlight, too bright, slices through a gap in the curtains, falling on a poster of some long-forgotten band. No. The word is a choked whisper. It can't be. I was 17. I died. Miguel. The betrayal. His face a mask of cold triumph as his foot connected with my chest, sending me over the edge. The icy shock of the water. The pain. My breath hitches. Downstairs I can hear the low murmur of the television, the clink of cutlery. Tuesday morning. A school day. My mother will be making arepas. My father will be reading the financial news, and Miguel, my golden child brother. He'll be there, charming them, his smile easy, his lies smoother than butter. A wave of nausea washes over me. This isn't a dream. This is a second chance? A nightmare reborn? My 17-year-old memories, vivid and brutal, crash against the impossible reality of this room, this body. 3 years. I'm 3 years in the past. 3 years before he kills me. I push the Spider-Man comforter aside, my legs shaky as I stand. The floorboards are cool beneath my bare feet. Everything is smaller, or I am. It's disorienting. I catch my reflection in the dusty mirror on my dresser. A kid stares back. Thin, dark hair falling into his eyes, a bewildered, haunted look on his face. My face. But not. Not yet the face Miguel will watch disappear beneath the waves. The phantom pain in my lungs flares again, a cruel reminder. Dinner. The word tastes like ash in my mouth. But I have to go down. I have to see them. I have to see him. The dining room is exactly as I remember it from this time. Mom's collection of ceramic roosters on the windowsill. Dad's worn leather briefcase by his chair. Miguel is already there, regaling them with some story about his early college exploits. He's just started. A freshman full of piss and vinegar, already the campus star, according to him. He sees me, and his smile widens. Alex! Finally decided to join the living? It's the same easy charm, the same dismissive affection. It used to make me feel small, insignificant. Now it's like looking at a viper through glass. I know the venom he's capable of. Morning, I manage, my voice sounding higher, younger than I expect. Mom fusses, placing a plate piled high with food in front of me. Eat, mijo. You look pale. I try to eat, but the food feels like cardboard. I watch Miguel. Every gesture, every carefully chosen word. It's a performance. He's always performing. Then it comes. Casually, between a bite of platano and a sip of coffee. So, Alex, Miguel says, that familiar, predatory gleam in his eyes, the one I was too naive to see before. Still tinkering with those little coding projects of yours? His tone. Dismissive. Condescending. The exact same tone that once made me so desperate to prove myself, to show him I wasn't just the weird younger brother. Now it's a 5-alarm fire. He's probing. He's fishing. Something like that, I say, keeping my voice neutral. He wants to know about the blockchain verification system, the one I've been pouring my nights into, the one that's actually revolutionary, the one he'll steal piece by piece over the next 3 years, passing it off as his own genius, building his empire on my stolen dreams, the one that will ultimately get me killed when I threaten to expose him. Anything interesting? He presses, his smile never wavering. Just messing around, I say, shrugging. I can feel my father's slightly impatient gaze, my mother's hopeful one. They want their sons to be close. They have no idea. I retreat to my bedroom as soon as I can, the oppressive weight of that dinner scene clinging to me. My old laptop. It's ancient, clunky, but it's here. I flip it open, the familiar whir of the hard drive a strange comfort. My fingers, smaller but still knowing, fly across the keys. Old passwords, forgotten accounts. I access hidden servers, encrypted files I set up even back then. My 14-year-old self. He was more paranoid than I remembered. Good. And there it is. A grim satisfaction settles in my chest, cold and hard. Every line of code, every experimental algorithm, every half-formed idea, time-stamped, backed up, secured in layers of encryption Miguel never even dreamed of, let alone discovered. This is it. This is the ammunition. He thought he was stealing from a naive kid. He has no idea who he's dealing with now. Later, the house is quiet. Too quiet. I can't sleep. The phantom drowning, the burning in my chest, it comes and goes in waves. I creep to the shared bathroom wall, the thinness of it a betrayal in itself. And I hear it. Miguel's voice, low, conspiratorial. "Keeping an eye on the family genius," he's saying, a smirk in his tone. He doesn't even realize how valuable his ideas are yet. Just needs a little guidance. Someone to take them to the next level. The exact same words. I heard them in my past life. Dismissed them as teasing, as Miguel just being Miguel. The casual arrogance, the belief that anything I had was his for the taking. Now, the words are like ice in my veins. This wasn't a gradual slide into theft. It was calculated, from the very beginning. I pull back from the wall, my heart a cold, heavy stone, the bathroom mirror again. My younger face, but my eyes, they're old. They've seen betrayal. They've seen death. They've seen the bottom of the ocean. A promise forms, silent and absolute, in the flickering fluorescent light. This time, Miguel, you won't just steal my ideas. You won't just steal my life. You'll steal your own destruction. Piece by agonizing piece. And you'll never even see the hunter in your prey's eyes. The boy in the mirror nods, a grim little smile playing on his lips. The game has already begun. And this time I know all the rules. And all the traps. The next few weeks are a blur of feigned normalcy. School, homework, chores. But beneath the surface, I'm a tightly coiled spring. I watch. I listen. I plan. My first move is subtle. I create a new folder on my desktop labeled Project Chimera Incomplete. Inside, fragments of code. Algorithms that look promising but are riddled with intentional, almost undetectable flaws. False leads, elegant dead ends. It's bait, shiny and enticing. Then I install the screen recording software. Hidden. Untraceable for someone with Miguel's borrowed expertise. I don't have to wait long. It's a Thursday. Mom's making sancocho, the rich smell filling the house. During dinner, Miguel is particularly expansive, bragging about a new contact he made at a university tech mixer. I make sure to yawn, to look bored, to push my food around my plate like the moody teenager I'm supposed to be. As soon as dinner's over, I mumble something about homework and escape to my room. But I don't open my textbooks. I open the live feed from my desktop. And there he is. Miguel slipping into my room like a shadow. He glances at my empty chair, then moves to my desk. His fingers hover over my keyboard. A moment of hesitation? Or just theatrical caution? Then, he's in. Navigating my files with an ease that speaks of prior incursions, he finds Project Chimera. His eyes narrow. He clicks, scrolls. A slow smile spreads across his face. He copies the files to a flash drive. The whole process takes less than 5 minutes. He slips out as silently as he came. I lean back in my chair, a cold smile of my own playing on my lips. Hook, line, and sinker. Those flawed algorithms will keep him busy for months, chasing ghosts, trying to debug code that was designed to break his spirit, not his computer. He'll think he's on the verge of a breakthrough, that he's stolen something brilliant. He has no idea he's just danced to my tune. The monthly Rivera Technologies family dinner. Dad likes to hold court, discussing company strategy, new ventures. Miguel, predictably, is front and center. No, and I was thinking, Dad, Miguel says, his voice confident, about leveraging decentralized ledger technology for supply chain verification. Imagine the transparency, the security. My idea. Almost verbatim from the notes he stole from my old Project Titan files. The real ones, not the Chimera decoys. In my past life, this was the moment he first started truly taking credit. And I was too stunned, too hurt to say anything. Now, I watch him. He stumbles slightly when Dad asks a pointed technical question about scalability. A bead of sweat on his upper lip. His fingers tap a nervous rhythm on the table. The ticks. I used to think it was modesty, a brilliant mind struggling to articulate complex thoughts to us mere mortals. Now I see it for what it is. The anxiety of a fraud. He's walking a tightrope, and he doesn't even understand the mechanics of the rope he's on. My parents, though, they're beaming. They're golden boy. So smart. So ambitious. I say nothing. I just eat my steak. The silence a weapon they don't even recognize. Sophia, Miguel's college girlfriend. In my past life, she became his business partner, his co-conspirator. Smart, ambitious, but easily swayed by Miguel's charm and apparent brilliance. This time, I need to get to her first. I create a new gaming persona. Nixbite, anonymous, skilled. I find her on a forum for competitive strategy games, a niche she's passionate about. I challenge her. I let her win a few, then I demonstrate a level of strategic thinking that catches her attention. Wow, Nixbite, she messages me one night, after a particularly intense match. You're good, like really good. You think about strategy in a way I haven't seen before. Just enjoy the patterns, I reply, keeping it vague. We start gaming regularly. She talks about college, about her ambitions, and she talks about Miguel. My boyfriend, Miguel, he's a coder too, she says one night. He's working on this amazing blockchain thing, super cutting edge. Oh yeah? I type. What kind of architecture is he using? Proof of stake? Proof of work? Custom consensus? Silence. Then, I'm not sure about the specifics. He's the tech genius, not me. But he says it's going to revolutionize everything. I casually explain a complex coding concept, one Miguel has recently claimed to have pioneered in his pitches to her. I explain it simply, elegantly. Huh, Sophia messages back, a thoughtful emoji attached. That's interesting. Miguel explained it differently, more complicated. The first seed of doubt, planted, family gathering. Uncle Carlos is here. The venture capitalist, the one who gave Miguel his first big break in the past life, impressed by a slick presentation and promises Miguel couldn't keep without my ongoing, uncredited work. Miguel is setting up his laptop, a PowerPoint presentation queued up. My new app concept, the title slide reads. It's a social media aggregator with a unique AI-driven content curation engine. My AI engine, from a project I'd codenamed Oracle. He launches into the pitch, smooth, confident, full of buzzwords. I sit quietly in the corner, my phone angled just right, recording. He's making promises, technical claims about processing speed and data analysis that are, frankly, impossible with the architecture he's describing. Or rather, the architecture he thinks he's describing, based on my stolen, incomplete notes. Uncle Carlos looks impressed. Ambitious, Miguel. Very ambitious. I believe in aiming high, Uncle, Miguel says, basking in the praise. I make a note on my own encrypted device. Presentation, October 12th, claims XYZ, actual feasibility, nil. The digital paper trail, growing longer every day, my fake investor persona. A Investments? I email Miguel. Intrigued by your work in the blockchain space. Heard whispers of your Project Chimera. He replies almost immediately, eager, slightly arrogant. He attaches a confidential prospectus, filled with my flawed decoy code. I reply with a series of increasingly complex technical questions about security protocols, about data integrity under stress, about the specific mathematical models underpinning his algorithms. His replies become slower, more evasive. He's using buzzwords, trying to bluff his way through. He doesn't realize he's talking to the actual architect of the systems he's pretending to understand. Finally, after a particularly pointed question about cryptographic vulnerabilities in my flawed system, the emails stop. He doesn't respond. I look at the unanswered email chain, a flicker of cold satisfaction in my chest, the first crack. He's used to being the smartest guy in the room, or at least the one who can talk the best game. He's not used to being technically outmaneuvered. The chasm is beginning to open, and he's walking right towards it. The email arrives on a Monday morning. Miguel reads it aloud at the breakfast table, his voice ringing with triumph. I got in! The TechSpark Accelerator program, can you believe it? Mom and Dad are ecstatic, hugs, congratulations, endless praise for their brilliant son. In my past life, this moment was a knife in my gut. I'd poured my soul into the code that formed the core of his application portfolio, and he'd presented it as his own, effortlessly reaping the rewards. It sent me into a spiral of self-doubt, wondering if I was just not good enough. This time I just smile, a small, almost imperceptible smile. That's great, Miguel. Congratulations. He beams, puffing out his chest. Yeah, it's pretty exclusive. They only take the best. My portfolio, they said it was one of the most innovative they'd seen in years. My portfolio, built on my stolen code, the code he thinks is his masterpiece. He has no idea what's coming. I savor the irony, a secret, bitter pleasure. The next few weeks are a flurry of activity for Miguel. He's preparing, practicing his pitch, fine-tuning his presentations. He even, magnanimously, asks for my input. Hey, Alex, he says, poking his head into my room. You're pretty good with, making things look good. Want to help me with my slides? It's almost laughable. The condescension. He's asking the person he robbed to help polish the stolen goods. Sure, I say, keeping my expression neutral. Happy to help, bro. I spend hours with him, organizing his data, designing his graphics. He's relaxed, confident, completely oblivious. And with every file I touch, every image I embed, every line of text I format, I'm also embedding something else. Hidden metadata, digital watermarks, tiny invisible signatures that scream Alex Rivera, original creator. They're woven into the fabric of the files, untraceable to a cursory glance, but irrefutable proof of authorship under forensic analysis. Miguel, in his arrogance, doesn't even bother to check. He just sees a slick, professional presentation, courtesy of his helpful little brother. He's carrying a ticking time bomb into his moment of triumph, and he thinks it's a trophy. The night before the Tech Spark Accelerator presentation, the culmination of Miguel's stolen efforts, the moment he steps onto the stage, ready to dazzle investors and tech luminaries with my genius. I'm in my room, the glow of my laptop screen illuminating my face. A single line of code is highlighted. A command I wrote months ago, a sleeper agent waiting for its activation signal. Execute projecticarus.exe. I hit enter. Across town in Miguel's dorm room, the virus awakens. It's not a destructive brute force attack. It's subtle, elegant. It navigates his file system, seeking out the specific code files from his portfolio. One by one, it begins to corrupt them. Not by deleting, but by replacing. Key algorithms become meaningless strings of characters. Complex functions are reduced to gibberish. But the digital watermarks, my hidden signatures, they remain perfectly intact, nestled within the chaos. His presentation will be a spectacular implosion. He'll stand there, trying to explain code that has become nonsensical in front of people who understand exactly how nonsensical it is. The next morning, I feign a stomach ache. Can't make it to school, Mom. Really not feeling good. She fusses, takes my temperature, then reluctantly agrees to let me stay home. Alone. With a high-speed internet connection. The Tech Spark Accelerator program live streams its finalist presentations. I find the link easily, settle back in my chair, and wait. Miguel is the third presenter. He walks onto the stage with a confident swagger, dressed in a new suit, his hair perfectly styled. He flashes his trademark charming smile at the judging panel. Good morning, he begins, his voice smooth and assured. Today I'm going to show you the future of secure data exchange. He launches into his pitch. The slides, the ones I helped him with, look flawless. He speaks eloquently about the potential, the market disruption, the innovation. Then comes the live demo. And now, he says, turning to his laptop, I'll show you Project Chimera in action. He clicks. The code editor opens. He tries to compile the first module, error messages, red lines of failure cascading down the screen. A flicker of confusion crosses Miguel's face. He tries again. More errors. He forces a laugh. Ah, live demos, right? Always a bit temperamental. He tries a different module. The same result. Gibberish, failure. The judges are watching, their expressions unreadable. One of them, a renowned software architect, leans into her microphone. Mr. Rivera, can you perhaps walk us through the core logic of your primary encryption algorithm? Miguel pales. He starts to stammer, trying to explain concepts he only partially understands, concepts that are now represented by corrupted code on his screen. His explanations crumble under her polite, precise questioning. His confident arrogance melts away, replaced by a frantic, panicked confusion. He's sweating profusely now. His smile is a rictus of terror. He keeps clicking, trying different files, his movements becoming jerky, desperate. I watch, a cold, detached satisfaction spreading through me. This is it. This is the moment his lies unravel, publicly, humiliatingly. The quanda is brutal. The judges, polite but relentless, pick apart his claims, expose the inconsistencies, the technical impossibilities. Miguel has no answers. He just stands there, a deer in the headlights, his carefully constructed facade shattered. Finally, the head judge clears his throat. Thank you, Mr. Rivera. That will be all. Miguel practically flees the stage. The aftermath is predictable. Miguel comes home late that night. Not triumphant, broken. He's raging, storming through the house, shouting about sabotage, about jealous competitors who must have hacked his system. Our parents try to comfort him, to soothe his wounded pride. It's okay, mijo, Mom says, stroking his hair. It was just bad luck. "Someone did this to me!" he yells, his face contorted. He's in tears. Real, frustrated tears. Good. Then, his eyes land on me. I'm sitting on the couch, feigning concern, but he sees something. Or maybe he's just looking for a target. His gaze narrows. Suspicion. "What are you looking at?" he snarls. "Nothing," I say, my voice quiet. "Just, sorry it didn't go well, Miguel." He doesn't believe me. I can see the paranoia starting to take root. He's lashing out, trying to find someone, anyone to blame for his own fraudulent actions catching up to him. He has no idea the architect of his downfall is sitting right in front of him, offering condolences. The isolation he put me through in our past life, the feeling of being undermined, of having my reality questioned. It's a bitter pill. And tonight he's had his first taste, served cold, with devastating precision. And this, I know, is only the beginning. The tech spark humiliation stings Miguel, but it doesn't break him. Not yet. He's resilient, I'll give him that. Or maybe just pathologically incapable of admitting defeat. He spends a few weeks sulking, blaming everyone but himself. Then, the familiar gleam returns to his eyes. He needs a new project, a new triumph to erase the stain of his failure. And I know exactly where he'll look. My latest secret project, Athena AI. A revolutionary adaptive tutoring system. It learns a student's weaknesses and tailors lessons in real time. It's brilliant, it's complex, and it's irresistible bait. I accidentally leave a folder open on the family's shared cloud drive, just for an hour. Long enough. Inside, carefully curated code snippets for Athena AI. They look incredible. Cutting edge. What Miguel can't see, of course, are the algorithmic time bombs. Tiny, dormant lines of code designed to cause catastrophic system failure after exactly 30 days of continuous operation. Not a random crash. A precise, predictable implosion. He takes the bait, of course. The cloud drive logs show his access, his download. He's more cautious this time, trying to cover his digital tracks. Amateurish, but an improvement. He thinks he's being clever. Meanwhile, Sophia is becoming a problem for him. My Nixbite persona has been a steady presence in her online gaming life. We discuss strategy, coding theory, ethics in tech. I never mention Miguel directly, but I subtly arm her with questions, with knowledge that makes her see the inconsistencies in his stories. Miguel was explaining his new AI project to me, she tells me one night via game chat after I've, as Nixbite, just outlined a particularly complex neural network architecture. It sounds amazing, but some of the technical details he mentioned, they don't quite line up with what you were just saying about efficient processing loads. There are many ways to build an AI, I type back, feigning neutrality. Some are more robust than others. She's smart. She's starting to connect the dots. Miguel's genius seems to rely heavily on concepts she hears from other, more articulate sources, like Nixbite, like the articles I casually send her links to. The pressure is getting to Miguel. He corners me in the hallway one evening, his usual swagger replaced by a forced, uneasy camaraderie. "Hey, Alex," he says, slinging an arm around my shoulder. It feels heavy, false. "We haven't really talked since, that accelerator thing." "Not much to say," I reply, shrugging. "Look, I was thinking, you're really smart with this coding stuff, way smarter than people give you credit for." His voice is a low, manipulative purr. Maybe you could give me a hand with something I'm working on. This AI thing. It's big, Alex, really big. Big enough for both of us. False brotherhood, shared family loyalty. The same tactics he used in our past life to guilt me into helping him. Into fixing the problems he created with my stolen code. This time I just smile. A cool, innocent smile. Wow, Miguel, an AI project? That sounds really advanced. I'm not sure I'd be much help. I mostly just tinker with small stuff, you know? I then proceed to ask him a few naive questions about his AI's architecture. Questions so technically precise, so deeply insightful, that they stop him cold. Questions a tinkerer would never think to ask. The color drains from his face. He stammers a non-answer, pulls his arm away. The fear is there now. Not just paranoia. Real dawning fear. He's starting to suspect I know more. Much more. But the Athena AI project moves forward. Miguel, using my deliberately flawed code, manages to cobble together a working prototype. He's a good showman, I'll give him that. He pitches it. He charms investors. He generates buzz. Rivera Technologies' prodigy son unveils groundbreaking AI tutor, one headline screams. Another praises Miguel Rivera, the future of ed tech. He's flying high again. The TechSpark disaster is forgotten, buried under a mountain of new hype. He's the golden boy, restored to his rightful place. I watch it all. I read the articles. I see the interviews. And I count down the days. 20 days left. Miguel is more stressed than I've ever seen him. The initial investor interest is immense, but so is the pressure to deliver a flawless product. He's working around the clock, fueled by caffeine and desperation. He's short-tempered with our parents, dismissive of Sophia when she asks too many probing questions. 15 days left. He starts having nightmares. I hear him thrashing in his room, sometimes crying out. He's jumpy, suspicious of everyone. He accuses the cleaning lady of moving his papers. He thinks his phone is bugged. 10 days left. His behavior is becoming erratic. He misses family dinners. When he does appear, he looks haunted, his eyes darting around as if expecting an attack. He's losing weight. His carefully constructed mask of confidence is cracking, revealing the terrified fraud beneath. It's almost poetic. His anxiety, his paranoia. It mirrors what I went through in my past life, when I realized he was stealing from me, when I felt the walls closing in, when I knew he would do anything to protect his lies. Except this time his fears are entirely justified. He's trapped. And the architect of that trap is his own little brother, watching his unraveling with a calm, clinical detachment. 5 days left. The high-profile demonstration is scheduled. The entire school board will be there. Local media, potential national investors. This is Miguel's chance to cement his comeback, to prove he's the genius he claims to be. He has no idea he's walking into his own public execution. Again, the algorithmic time bombs are ticking, and there's no escape. The auditorium is packed. School board members in the front row, their faces expectant. Journalists with cameras poised. Investors, their expressions a mixture of curiosity and cautious optimism. Miguel stands on stage, a forced smile plastered on his face. He looks like he hasn't slept in a week. "Welcome," he begins, his voice slightly hoarse, "to the future of personalized education. Welcome to Athena AI." He launches into his presentation. The slides are slick. The promises are grand. He talks about adaptive learning, about revolutionizing how students engage with information. He even manages a few of his old, charming jokes. Then comes the live demo, the moment of truth. He boots up the Athena AI system. On the large screen behind him, the sleek interface appears. So far, so good. He invites a student volunteer to the stage. "Now let's see Athena AI in action," Miguel announces, a tremor in his voice that only I would recognize as sheer terror. The student starts the first module. For a moment, it seems to work. The AI asks a question. The student answers. The system processes. And then it happens. A flicker on the screen, a cascade of error messages. Not just a simple crash. This is catastrophic. Data streams corrupt. The interface freezes, then dissolves into a pixelated mess. A high-pitched whine emits from the speakers. The audience gasps. Miguel stares at the screen, his face ashen. "Technical difficulties," he stammers. "Just a minor glitch." But it's not minor. It's a complete system meltdown, and then the final nail in his coffin. A message appears on the screen, stark and brutal, visible to everyone. System error. Integrity breach detected. Unauthorized code modifications found. Timestamp. Date of Miguel's download from my cloud drive. Source IP. Miguel's University Network IP. My digital forensics embedded deep within the Athena AI's core, activated by the crash. It's not just a failure, it's an accusation, a public one. The room erupts in murmurs. The journalists are scribbling furiously. The investors look horrified. Miguel is frozen, a statue of disbelief and despair. But the real shock is yet to come. That evening, our parents call a family meeting. They're bewildered, confused. Miguel is sobbing, incoherent, babbling about sabotage, about being framed. "I don't understand," Mom says, her eyes red. "How could this happen, Miguel, again?" That's my cue. "I think I can explain," I say, my voice calm and clear in the emotionally charged room. I connect my laptop to the living room television, and I begin my presentation. "This isn't about just Athena AI," I start. "This is about a pattern of behavior, a pattern of theft. That's been going on for years." I bring up my own files. My original code for Project Titan, the blockchain system. Timestamps from when I was 12, 13, version histories, detailed notes. Then I show Miguel's innovations side by side. The similarities are undeniable. The core logic, identical. I do the same for Oracle, his social media aggregator, my code, my algorithms. Again, the proof is irrefutable. I show them the corrupted Project Chimera files he stole, complete with my hidden watermarks. I show them the logs from my desktop, recording his unauthorized access. I show them the server logs of him downloading Athena AI from my cloud drive, an overwhelming digital portfolio. Every theft, every lie, documented, time-stamped, proven with mathematical certainty. My parents stare at the screen, their faces a mixture of shock and dawning horror. Miguel has stopped sobbing. He's just staring at me, his eyes wide with a new, terrifying understanding. "But you were just tinkering," Dad stammers, looking at me as if seeing me for the first time. "While Miguel was building his reputation on my work," I continue, my voice still even, "I was building something else." I bring up another set of files. Financial statements, patent applications, incorporation documents, all under various anonymous online personas. Nixbyte Solutions, Oracle Innovations, Athena Group, multiple successful tech ventures, generating income, securing patents, quietly, anonymously. While Miguel was basking in the spotlight, using my stolen work to gain fleeting fame, I was building a real, sustainable empire, an empire he knew nothing about. The room is silent, save for Mom's stifled sobs. "The money," Dad whispers. "You've earned more than Miguel ever." "Considerably more," I confirm. "And all of it legally. All of it my own creation. While Miguel's actions constitute felony-level intellectual property theft. Theft that could send him to prison." The word prison hangs in the air, heavy and suffocating. Just then the doorbell rings. Sophia. I invited her. She looks pale, shaken. "Sophia," I say, gesturing to a chair. "Thank you for coming." She looks at Miguel, then at me, her eyes filled with a terrible confusion. "What's going on, Alex?" "Miguel," I say, turning to my brother. Perhaps you'd like to explain to Sophia how much of your genius was actually borrowed." Before Miguel can respond, Sophia speaks, her voice trembling. I've been talking to someone online, a gamer, Nixbite. He's been explaining coding to me, things Miguel claimed he invented, but Nixbite explained them better, more clearly. She looks at me, a horrifying realization dawning in her eyes. "Nixbite? Alex, is that—" I give a small, almost imperceptible nod. Sophia gasps, her hand flying to her mouth. She stares at Miguel, betrayal etched on her face. "All this time, the things you said, the code, was it all Alex's?" Miguel doesn't answer. He just stares at the floor, defeated. Then, a sudden, desperate energy seems to fill him. He lunges. Not at me, at my laptop. He's going to destroy the evidence, the last foolish act of a cornered animal. He never makes it. As his hand reaches for the laptop, a piercing alarm shrieks through the house. Red lights flash from hidden sensors in the room. My comprehensive security system, activated by his aggressive move. "What's happening?" Dad yells, jumping to his feet. "Miguel just triggered the alert," I say calmly. "Everything he's doing right now? It's being live-streamed to secure cloud storage, and a silent alarm has just been sent to law enforcement, reporting a break-in and attempted destruction of property." Miguel freezes. His hand inches from my laptop. He looks at me, his eyes wide with pure, unadulterated terror. The naive victim he thought he was controlling? He never existed. The boy he dismissed, robbed, and ultimately planned to eliminate? That boy was a ghost. In his place stood someone Miguel never saw coming, someone who had been playing a different game all along, a much longer, much more dangerous game, and Checkmate. The wail of approaching sirens cuts through the stunned silence in the living room. Miguel collapses onto the expensive Persian rug, a boneless heap of despair. Tears stream down his face, genuine this time, born not of frustration but of utter, hopeless defeat. "Alex, please," he chokes out, his voice hoarse and broken, grabbing at my jeans like a drowning man. "Please, you have to help me. Remember when we were kids? Remember when we were close? I only did it because I wanted to make you proud. Make the family proud." His words, so pathetic, so transparently manipulative, wash over me without effect. I look down at him, at this sniveling wreck who was once my confident, arrogant older brother, the golden child. There's no pity in my gaze, only a vast, cold emptiness where brotherly affection used to be. "Close, Miguel?" I ask, my voice devastatingly calm. "Were we close when you systematically stole my work, year after year? Were we close when you built your entire life on my ideas, passing them off as your own?" I tick off each point methodically, my words like surgical instruments dissecting his flimsy excuses. "Were we close when you dismissed my contributions, made me feel insignificant, like I was nothing more than your personal code monkey? And were we close, Miguel, when you stood on that pier, your foot on my chest, and decided my life was less valuable than your lies?" He flinches at the last question, as if struck. The color drains further from his face, if that's even possible. He knows. He knows I remember everything. Our parents are in shock. Mom is weeping openly now, Dad staring blankly at the unfolding catastrophe, his illusions about his perfect son shattering around him. "Alex, mijo," Dad finally says, his voice raspy. This is a family matter. We can sort this out. Therapy. He needs help. We all need help. But criminal charges. Son, he's your brother. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive him, for the sake of family unity?" Forgiveness, family unity. The old, familiar refrains. They always expected me to be the compliant one, the one who smoothed things over, the one who sacrificed for Miguel's sake. I turned to them, my expression unyielding. He didn't just steal code, Dad. He didn't just tell lies. He stole years of my life. He stole my trust. He stole my future. The one where I didn't have to die to escape him. He murdered me in every way that counts, long before he kicked me into that ocean. Do you understand the depth of that betrayal? The betrayal your golden child orchestrated? They stare at me, speechless. The word murdered hangs between us, stark and undeniable. They had no idea. They never truly saw him. Or me. Sophia, her face pale and tear-streaked, steps forward. Alex, please. I know what he did is monstrous, but look at him. He's broken. Criminal charges. It will destroy his future, his mental state. It's so fragile right now. I meet her gaze, my own steady. Fragile, Sophia. Was he fragile when he was methodically planning to steal my life's work? Was he fragile when he was charming investors with my innovations? Was he fragile when he contemplated silencing me permanently to protect his fraudulent empire? I pause, letting the words sink in. Imagine discovering that everything you thought you knew about your partner, the person you trusted, was a lie. A carefully constructed illusion built on stolen dreams. My dreams, Sophia. Her eyes drop. She has no answer to that. The rationalizations, the pleas for leniency, they wither in the face of the cold, hard truth I lay before them. Miguel makes one last, desperate gamble. He pushes himself up, his eyes wild. You can't prove any of this. I'll say you hacked me. I'll say you sabotaged me. You've always been jealous of me, Alex. Everyone knows that. A humorless smile touches my lips. Jealous, Miguel? Of what? Your talent for theft? Your gift for deception? I hold up my phone, displaying a single document. As for proof, this is a copy of the full legal documentation I've prepared. Affidavits, forensic reports, expert testimonies. Every action I took, Miguel, from installing screen recording software on my own damn computer to embedding digital watermarks in my intellectual property, was done legally in defense of my own work. Every piece of evidence has been meticulously gathered and preserved. Your thefts, on the other hand, constitute multiple felony-level intellectual property crimes. The evidence against you is overwhelming, irrefutable. Your story about me sabotaging you? It won't stand up to even the most cursory scrutiny. The flashing blue and red lights are visible through the windows now. The doorbell rings, sharp and insistent. 2 uniformed police officers. The fight drains out of Miguel completely. He slumps back to the floor, a defeated man. The silence in the room is heavy, broken only by Mom's ragged breathing and the muffled sounds of the officers speaking to Dad at the door. I watch it all, a strange sense of detachment washing over me. This isn't about revenge anymore. Not really. This is about justice. This is about reclaiming what was stolen from me. My work, my life, my truth. Dad leads the officers in. They look at Miguel, then at me, then at the chaotic scene in the living room. There's been a report, one of the officers begins. Yes, officer, I say, my voice clear and steady. I'd like to report a rather extensive series of intellectual property thefts, and I have all the evidence you'll need. In the devastating silence that follows, as the officers begin to take Miguel's statement, as my parents watch their world crumble, I deliver my final verdict, not to them, but to the universe, to the memory of the boy I was. Miguel will face the consequences of his actions. Criminal charges are just the beginning. Our parents, they'll have to learn to live with the son they actually have, the brilliant, ruthless one they overlooked, instead of the charming fraud they preferred. And me? I'll continue building my empire, the one I built in secret, the one that's real, while Miguel's name, his name will become a cautionary tale, a legacy of academic fraud and professional dishonesty, a brand of shame that will follow him far longer and far more effectively than any prison sentence. The boy who drowned doesn't need pity, he needs justice, and tonight, he got it. 6 months. It feels like a lifetime, yet also like the blink of an eye. The storm has passed, leaving behind a strangely calm, altered landscape. I sit in my own apartment now, a sleek, minimalist space high above the city. Sunlight streams through the floor-to-ceiling windows, glinting off the awards and patent plaques that now bear my real name, Alex Rivera. No more aliases. No more hiding. My companies, Nixbyte Solutions, Oracle Innovations, Athena Group are thriving, leaders in their respective fields. The world knows who I am now. Miguel. His name is a whisper in the tech world, a synonym for disgrace. He avoided prison narrowly, thanks to a plea deal and our parents mortgaging their future to pay for a team of high-priced lawyers. Instead, he's serving community service, picking up trash on the side of the highway. His once bright future is a wasteland of ruined reputation and closed doors. He struggles to find even entry-level work. The golden boy has tarnished beyond repair. Our parents, they're trying. Slowly, awkwardly, they're learning to build a relationship with me. The son they never truly knew. The one they're now slightly intimidated by. The pedestal where Miguel once stood is empty, and they're adrift in the uncomfortable space of realizing their judgment was so spectacularly, painfully wrong. There are no more family dinners at Rivera Technologies. The company itself is struggling, its image irrevocably damaged by its association with Miguel's fraud. Dad sold off most of his shares. A letter arrived last week. Miguel's handwriting, childishly earnest, on cheap, lined paper. It's from his court-mandated therapy, filled with apologies, with rambling admissions of jealousy, of insecurity, of a desperate need for approval he felt he could only gain by stealing mine. I didn't open it fully. I skimmed the first few lines, felt nothing, then filed it away in a box labeled Miguel Closed. Not out of cruelty or a lingering desire for revenge, but from a serene, almost detached understanding. His guilt, his demons, they belong to him. My peace, my future, they belong to me. Our paths diverged irrevocably the moment he chose theft over brotherhood, violence over truth. I'm working late, as usual. Not with the frantic, desperate energy that drove my past life. The need to prove myself, to claw my way out from under Miguel's shadow. Now it's different. It's a quiet confidence, a joyful immersion in the intricate beauty of code. My latest project, a quantum encryption protocol. It has the potential to revolutionize digital security, to make data breaches a thing of the past. It's complex, challenging, exhilarating, and it's all mine. The city lights twinkle below, a vast, glittering tapestry. My phone buzzes. A message from Sophia. Coffee tomorrow? 10 a.m.? My treat. Got some news about my startup I want to share. I smile. Sophia. We've navigated the wreckage of Miguel's lies and found something unexpected on the other side. A tentative friendship. She cut ties with Miguel completely after the truth came out, horrified by the extent of his deception. She's launching her own tech venture now, built on her own ideas, her own hard work. Our coffee meetings are filled with talk of code, of market strategy, of the exhilarating, terrifying journey of building something from scratch. It's a relationship based on mutual respect, on shared ambition, not on manipulation or theft. It's the kind of connection I never had with Miguel, the kind I never knew I was missing. I type back, "Sounds good. See you then." Standing on my balcony, the cool night air on my face, I watch the first hints of dawn painting the eastern sky. Pink, orange, gold, bleeding into the deep indigo. A new day. A new life. The boy who died at 17. The one who gasped his last breath in the cold, dark water. Betrayed and alone. He would be proud. Proud of this man. The one who survived. The one who took the shattered pieces of a stolen life and built an empire. The one who faced his monster and didn't just defeat him, but remade the world in his own image. The phantom pain in my lungs is gone now, replaced by the steady, even rhythm of my own breathing. Free. Finally. Truly free. The sun crests the horizon, flooding the city with light. And I, Alex Rivera, turn to meet it. A quiet satisfaction settling deep in my soul. The game is over, and I won. Not just against Miguel, but against the past, against the fear, against the darkness. This new dawn is mine, and every year that follows, 18, 19, 90, they are mine too. Stolen back from the jealousy that tried to extinguish my light. And this time, I will shine. Brighter than ever before.